And the other thing that we learned is that for every 1,000 feet you rise above sea level, the temperature drops by 3 degrees, and you get progressively closer to the equivalent towards the North Pole. So the top of that mountain was the same temperature as the Arctic Circle at sea level.
And here I'm going around the back of my head with the camera so you can get the full 360 view. There's a couple more coming up.
Earlier today we hiked into the Hurricane Ridge area of the Eagle Cap Wilderness. We went into the cute little town of Joseph and had lunch at a Mexican restaurant and bought some soap at a spa. And we couldn't believe what a cute tourist town Joseph was.
You can see out the window the trees going by. Just a little wonderland.
We left Portland on Saturday and we traveled across eastern Oregon, but we didn't take the freeway. We took backcountry highways and Forest Service roads, and we went through the little towns of Maupin, Shaniko, Antelope, which at one time was known as Rajneeshpuram when the Rajneeshis took it over. We went into the little town of Fossil, which is the county seat of Wheeler County, and that is the least populous county in the state of Oregon. It only has 1,500 people in the entire county, and they definitely don't have cell service there. And then we continued on to the little town of Condon. And in Condon, we went to a terrific museum where they had an exhibit on the flood of 1903. I had never heard this story, but in 1903, a freak flood happened in Condon. It was a calm Sunday afternoon when suddenly a thunderstorm came by. Everyone was sort of peacefully sitting on their porches, and a torrential downpour happened in a canyon upriver from the little town of, was it Heppner or Condon? Heppner, the little town of Heppner, and a flood came through and killed 250 people. And then we continued on over a beautiful Forest Service road to the town of Ukiah. And on the way...
See, Ma, if you had vertigo, you wouldn't really enjoy this very much.
On the way, Aaron bitched and moaned if I drove 20 miles an hour or if I drove 55. So I ended up putting the cruise control on at about 30, and 6 hours later we got to LeGrand.
It was a nice long drive, which I appreciated.
It was nice, yes, very nice and slow. Oh, can they see the parasailers?
So far we're on the tram about 6 minutes. There are parasailers above us. Yes, you can see the little dot of a parasailer there. They took off from the mountain up on top where we were. I'm not sure whether they rode the tram up there or not. They must have. We're not sure where they land, but there's plenty of farmland down below, as you see. They kind of go all over.
But those parasailers had on a getup that sort of looked like a parachute, and they had to carefully fold it on the edge of a cliff and get all of the lines in proper setup, and then they headed down the cliff, took off running, and jumped. And as long as they do it correctly, that parasail catches a breeze, and they go floating off like a bird.
See, there you see back behind us the distance that we've traveled so far.